Okay, my name is Kathy Schofield, and I am the program manager for Special Population Recreation, the Rainbow Gang, and I'm a co-area director for Anderson County Area 14 Special Olympics.
Okay, with all that title, that means you got a lot to do. Tell people what all you do, who you work with here.
Okay, so one hat I wear, I run a day program for adults with intellectual disabilities. All of our adults have either aged out or graduated from high school. I have 18 participants aging from age 21 to 67, and we run interventions for them daily that help them work on some personal goals that they would like to achieve. We have a recreation therapy internship that we currently offer. It's offered to 3 interns per semester, and they come in and they take over for us and run the interventions that we host each day, and then they also will bring us new and exciting activities to do. We like, during non-COVID time, we like to get our group out into the community so that they are exposed to their surroundings. They can practice making eye contact, speaking up loudly, and trying to speak as clearly as they can if they have some verbal disabilities. And then we also just like to go out into the community and have fun, go to the movies. We like to go get ice cream. We like to go get snowballs. We like to go to the Civic Center and play bocce or play kickball or just walk the track, just get outside and enjoy. We also, we have community members that come into our facility. We work very closely with the garden club here in Anderson County, who has donated a stand-up garden bed. And we currently have learned how to go from planting the seeds to a seedling, to planting the seedling, to using whatever product it was that we planted. So we've made flavored butter with different herbs that we've grown. We made lavender sachets. We have gotten to flavor our pasta with some herbs. And right now we have cabbages growing in our garden. And so we're really excited to come back, and I think we're gonna make some kind of coleslaw. But that way our participants get to see, you know, it doesn't just show up at the grocery store, but they're also proud of themselves for growing something. And eventually we hope to expand on that program so that we are growing fruits and vegetables that our participants can take home, or that we could even sell as a fundraiser. What else do we do? We have a volunteer that comes in and does line dancing each week with our participants, and it's really neat. She will theme our line dancing to whatever holiday we have coming up, and the kids really love that. So they get the experience of, they're not doing the same 4 line dances over and over every week. It does change up for them. We have another volunteer that comes in and does arts and crafts, and we've done many of them around the room. So we've painted canvases with different decorations. We've learned how to use painter's tape to make different shapes on our canvases. We've made centerpieces. We have made Mother's Day pots with flowers in them. She's really creative. And so we always encourage people that work and live in our community to come inside and bring a part of that inside this building. We partner very closely with AU's nursing program, and our nursing students come in and they help, right now during COVID, they help make sure that we keep our masks on, that we're hand sanitizing, our temperatures are taken, that we're trying to stay 6 feet apart and really help social distance, but still get to enjoy the atmosphere of being around our friends. And then we also have partnered with Clemson University's rec therapy program, and we have students that come down here and will do their preceptorship down here, I forget the exact phrase for it, but they'll come and observe and help us run activities for a certain number of hours that they need. And then anybody that really needs any volunteer hours down here, we're always open. A little bit more open when it's not COVID times.
Yeah, how has the COVID challenge changed what you had to do here? I mean,
wow, overnight we went from being in person and we went virtual. So everybody was shutting down. You know, we are immunocompromised, and we don't always wear our masks correctly, and our hand washing skills are not exactly, you know, that 20 seconds, that's a long time. Even when you say, okay, let's sing happy birthday, it's still happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, you know. So we went completely virtual. We were running 2 programs a day virtually, and it allowed our participants to see the outside world. They weren't just stuck in the house afraid of what was going on. A lot of our participants don't understand why can we not give hugs, and why are we not allowed to high five anymore. And so we stayed completely virtual. I think we came back in July, part-time. We decided we would stay up until lunch because that was when we would need to remove our masks. And so everybody would go home. July numbers spiked again after the 4th of July. So we went virtual again. And then we had several parents reach out and say, listen, you know, the mental health of my child is just as important to me as their physical health. Is there any way we can start going back again? And so because our guys had done so well wearing masks, wearing them appropriately, hand sanitizing, maintaining the distances, you know, we modified the high five and we do elbow bumps. We decided to come back at a full-time capacity, and so we have been back full-time since August. I do have participants that have chosen to stay home. We partnered very closely with Clemson University. We hosted an internship here. They had 3 interns whose sites had said, we're sorry we can't host you. And we had a professor approach us about a partnership. And so we hosted an internship here in our facility. And we had one intern who was 100% virtual out of Texas. And so she was able to facilitate online interventions for our group that's at home, as well as we also did hybrid interventions where we would put some of our in-person participants in front of the camera so that she could have a group for her interventions. So we have had to cut out the daily virtual interventions because we just cannot sustain it with the staff that we have. We do run 2 hybrid activities a week. We do bingo on Thursdays, as you heard, and then we do Music Monday. And so on Music Mondays, everybody gets to go around. They get to pick a song that they want to sing and dance to and share with the group. And so it's a good way to connect with our one participant, or well, we have 4 participants that are still not coming daily. And so that's one hat. My other hat is I'm a co-area director for Area 14 Special Olympics. We run year-round sports. We currently have 11 sports that we run. I'm going to try and name them all. So we have bowling and bocce, basketball, swimming, cheerleading, softball, equestrian. Did I say basketball? Maybe so. Cheer, and then we run, we have young athletes, which is for athletes ages 2 to 7, and they work on developmental skills, and then ages 8 and up work on the traditional sports. And so we run those year round. We're constantly looking for new sports to add. Julia, who is also my co-area director for Area 14 Special Olympics, she and I, before COVID, started taking pickleball lessons. And we have our pickleball paddles, and we are certified official for level 1. Once this is all over, we are very interested in getting back into the learning how to play pickleball so that we can utilize the new courts that have been made and bring pickleball to Special Olympics. We also host several events. We host a trunk or treat every October. It's just a way for our population to come and trick or treat in a safe environment, enjoy their peers, and be able to get out of the house and have a good time. It's also a time for parents to relax and build a sense of community, seeing other parents there, meeting other parents. After you see somebody, the same person over and over, you know, you build that relationship, which I think is very important for a lot of our athletes. As much as it is for our athletes, it is for our parents as well to have that sense of community and support. So we do that. We do the trunk or treat at the Civic Center, then we go inside and we have a dance and pizza, and the photo booth has been the newest addition that everybody loves. They're very generous and let our guys just come through and take as many crazy wacky photos as they want. The kids really enjoy that and love that. And then at Christmas time, we have a dinner and dance inside the Civic Center. Santa comes and makes an appearance. And again, we have the photo booth and try to have a little something to give them to remember the dance by. And this last year, we added a new activity for spring games. We have started hosting a competition, if you will, for our athletes to design the spring game shirt. And so our Christmas dance is where we let all of our participants vote on what they want their spring game shirt design to be for the next year. And so that was a new addition for us 2 years ago, was getting to vote on that. We've hosted several movie nights at the Civic Center. Even during COVID, we've been able to space the chairs out enough. They have a huge movie screen. So it's been, we take temperatures on the way in, and we're in our masks watching our movies, and we've had a good number of athletes take advantage of that.
Special Olympics has been going on a long time here, right? I want to try to keep these two things.
Yes. So Special Olympics was brought here over 40 years ago, probably over 45 years ago, by Gloria Bird and Suzanne McMahon. And then the Rainbow Gang, which is the day program, County Council adopted that over 30 years ago, and Suzanne McMahon ran this program, the day program, up until 5 years ago.
And just in a normal time when we're not having COVID, our friends and neighbors who participate in, what's a normal week like for them coming in? You mentioned a lot of the activities, but what hours do they come? What would be a normal week for one of our friends and neighbors who's a participant here?
Sure. So for the day program, we begin at 9 a.m. Everybody, we ask them to be here by 9, no later than 9:30. At 10 a.m. we run our first intervention. So it could be, indoor bocce, yoga, kickball, four corners, anything like that. Around 11, we run our second intervention of the day. We eat lunch about 11:45, and at 1 o'clock, we run our last intervention for the day. And then at 2 o'clock, our participants are picked up and taken home. Then in the evening time, it's kind of a unique situation. So all of our day programmers are actually Special Olympic athletes. So day program, they're here. And then Special Olympics, we see them again in the evening. So Mondays is swimming. Tuesdays is bowling. Wednesdays is generally basketball. Thursdays was 8 and under bowling. Friday, we take a day off. Saturday, we have track and field, tennis, bocce. We use the bocce courts out at the Civic Center. So our participants stay very busy and active during non-COVID times. And so it's been very difficult with Special Olympics for safety reasons for all parties involved. We have stopped activities. Special Olympics South Carolina has been very proactive at hosting lots of activities virtually through Zoom meetings. They had a Zoom dance. And then that way our athletes get to connect with other athletes around the state that they would normally see. So when we're competing, we not only compete here locally, but we compete statewide. So as we host our spring games, those are individually hosted per area. And then for summer games, which are in May, we go to Fort Jackson and we just take over the base for the weekend, and we compete in sports there. And then for that was summer games. So for fall games in Myrtle Beach, we take over Myrtle Beach area and host all of our games there. So we compete on a state level. And then every 4 years, our athletes have a chance to compete on a national level. And Anderson has actually sent, recently, our athletes competed in Washington State, and we sent three athletes to compete in Washington on a national level. So that was really cool.
So you said there's a great deal of crossover. Most people who do the day program are also involved. So the Rainbow Gang is also Is
The
also-
Rainbow Gang is separate. It's two
All right,
complete.
let me get that clear in my brain then, okay? Tell me, let's talk about just the Rainbow Gang. I'll edit this and make it make sense.
Sure.
Okay, tell me the Rainbow Gang.
So the Rainbow Gang is the day program.
Right.
So our participants will show up at 9, and they have activities until 2, and then they go home.
Right.
I have 18 participants for the day program.
Is that a maximum number that you can take?
18 is my max. I
Have
would
a
love.
waiting list?
We do have a waiting list. So we have an application process very similar to colleges where we're just on a rolling schedule. We're always taking applications, and then as we go through, if we have an opening, we see who is the best fit for our program. We do have certain criteria that you need to meet because we are not certified nursing staff. We are not staffed to change diapers, divvy out medicine. You know, if you need an ibuprofen or a Tylenol, I can give you that. But, you know, we're also not certified in like feeding tubes and things of that nature, which opens the door to, you know, how do we expand? Where do we go from here? How has COVID kind of encouraged us? And we've all kind of been brainstorming in the office about trying to get a virtual Rainbow Gang program that would help us to expand our programming and would help us to reach an audience of participants that can't come to the day program, but it would also give them the same opportunities that our day program has.
And what kind of, for the Rainbow Gang, what kind of feedback and comments have you gotten from the parents of the participants who are involved? How do they respond to their family members being able to be a part of this group?
It means everything to them. We are the only program in the Southeast that is a free day program. We are 100% funded by the county, and that is a true blessing. It opens many, many opportunities for us that otherwise, you know, these parents, I mean, I pay daycare right now, and that's $520 a month. And I mean, you meet a parent that's on a fixed income with a child with disabilities who's also on a fixed income, and that's probably almost their entire check. Our families that are here are so supportive of the different activities that we host, the volunteers that come in. If I need anything, I send home a letter, and parents will just bless us in ways we can't imagine with anything that we need. It's the same thing with reaching out to the community. Anytime I reach out to the community with a need, people are very quick to just respond and shower us with love of anything that they can help us with. For a lot of parents, you know, it's imperative for their children for their mental health. You know, one of my participants' moms, she called me all summer one year. Do you have an opening? Do you have an opening? Do you have an opening? You know, my son is depressed. My son needs this interaction with other people. And it broke my heart because at that time I didn't have anywhere for him to go. And I couldn't, you know, just magically make a spot because, you know, we have to keep safety as our number one priority. And so, you know, our population gets stuck in a limbo between I'm cognitive enough to have a job and so I can go somewhere and work, or I'm just not quite cognitive enough to do that. But then where do you go? There's a wait list at the disabilities board, you know, and then we're max capacity here. So for our parents, this program is just everything to them. And they let us know and are very appreciative. And during normal times for Thanksgiving, we have a potluck and we invite the parents to come and enjoy a meal with us. And the same thing at Christmas time. We do another big Christmas party and the parents come and have lunch with us. And so, you know, normally parents, not during COVID time, it's an open door policy to our parents. You need something, you want something, you want to come in and just say, hey, please feel free to do so. COVID has really created just a disconnect. And we miss getting to see our parents and know, you know, what's going on in their lives. And it's just been a real disconnect from our parents. And, you know, you build those relationships with your parents just as you do with their children. So.
And you mentioned support. So County Council and Administrator Rusty Burns, they've all been very supportive of the program. Very
supportive. Very helpful. Anytime I come up with some crazy idea and I'm like, hey, I need some funding. It may not be overnight, but they're all very helpful, very encouraging, and if they can't give me all of it, they give me what they can. And so, like I said, it's just been a true blessing to have the backing of the county and that support and knowing that, so this program initially was started just as a social place for these guys to come, and they would come and play on the Wii's and do crossword puzzles and everything. And then in the past 5 years, we've grown it, and now we have a certified rec therapist on site, and we have 3 rec therapy interns that are doing therapeutic interventions with these participants, which that's thousands of dollars and tons of time of maybe you couldn't get a therapist here in Anderson, so you're driving your child to Greenville twice a week, if that. Sometimes it's only once a month. And these guys are getting 3 interventions a day. And then we also do small groups here and there with them. So, I mean, the opportunities that Rusty Burns and County Council have allowed us through their support is just, you can't say thank you enough.
And tell me about the upcoming partnership with Art Center to do this Art Center.
Oh, we're so excited. I'm glad you know about that. We are super excited. So we were approached by the Art Center and asked if we would be interested in partnering with them to do an arts and crafts class, I guess, for lack of a better word. They received some grant money and County Council matched it for us. We will be meeting up with them soon to get together. I think we're going to get together with them once a week, and they're going to host us there. So it'll be great. We'll be able to go on a field trip each week, and we're going to do different arts and crafts with them. And that's super exciting. We've been to the Art Center once before, and we brought home a splatter painting that we did, and there were a couple other little projects that they had for us to do. We made pots out of clay. That was really cool. And so I just know that our group is going to be super stoked and excited when they start seeing on their calendar. So we send out a calendar once a month, and that is like the world stops and we have to dissect our calendar. And so I know that the gang is going to be super excited when they see that, 1, we're getting out of the building, and 2, we're going to the Art Center for arts and crafts. That's a big deal. But it was huge that, County Council partnered with the Art Center to provide this program for us, because one part without the other, it wouldn't have worked.
And I guess finally, Kathy, where did your passion and energy come from for this? Because you obviously have a passion for what we're talking about here.
Wow. So I have several family members that are special ed teachers. And so I've always just been drawn to the population and had a compassion and understanding. I got lucky. I volunteered with Special Olympics. I was actually a bank teller when Special Olympics found me. And then I was just truly honored and blessed to be hired on as Suzanne's assistant, and then unfortunately she had to retire, and so it was just a natural progression. And I have a community leisure background and a rec management master's from Clemson, and it has just been a wild ride. It's been fun. I ended up here. I was a lifeguard at Disney before I ended up in South Carolina as a bank teller, before I ended up in just a dream job. And, my worst day at work still is, I don't even think I have a bad day at work. I find comfort here, and I find comfort in being around my participants. And when I'm dealing with something, you come here and you feed off of their energy and the positivity and the love and just lack of being affected by the outside world that these guys project onto you, and you just automatically feel better. But it really is just the best place to be.
Just watching you interact a little bit here, you obviously have a heart just open to this.
They're my kids. I tell people I have 18 kids and they look at me like I'm crazy, and I tell them what I do. But yeah, every single one of them are my kids, and I want to see them grow and succeed and do, whatever it is they want, whatever their goals are to accomplish. I want them to do that, but I want them to know, this is a safe space, and we're your people, just like they did at school.
Okay, if somebody sees this and wants to either volunteer, donate, or just find out more, where's the best place for them to keep up with what's going on here?
Great. So there's several places. The Rainbow Gang, so it's Special Population Recreation, the Rainbow Gang on Facebook. And then also on andersoncounty.sc.org, and we're under Special Population. We have a website there. And then we're also on Instagram. Special Population Recreation, the Rainbow Gang. And then also Area 14 Special Olympics. We're Area 14 Anderson County Special Olympics on Facebook, and then also on Instagram. And then also you can see our information on the Anderson County website under Special Population. Like, it's all one tab. We're covered.
As if you don't have a note to keep up with.
We just don't tweet. I drew the line at tweeting. I just don't get it. And that's past my realm of thinking. I'm too long-winded.
Is there anything I didn't ask you we wanted to get into this? Did I miss anything, or did we cover it pretty well?
No, we're always looking for volunteers for things. There's tons of stuff out in the community that we'll be doing. We have like pop-up fundraisers and things like that. So
the Arts Center has been involved with different special populations for several years. We had done work before with the Special Needs Disability Board, and I'm just familiar with the Rainbow Gang from just community events in general. So it's really important to us to do outreach programs to people that might not normally come to the Arts Center. We want to show them what we have going on here and expand their horizons about what art is available in Anderson. And especially with special populations, it's great for them to have a place that they can come and get really well-trained instructors to teach them some real artistic skills. It's not just recreation and crafts.
Have you been here when they were here before? You haven't seen them? The new thing we're talking about in the new initiative with the Rainbow Gang, though, you got a grant, and it's going to be an ongoing thing, not just a hit and run kind of, right?
That's right. So we applied for a grant through the South Carolina Arts Commission, and the Arts Commission was focusing on accessibility for special needs populations. So we knew that this would be a good fit, and we've received a grant where we should have enough funding that we can do probably a couple of months long program with the Rainbow Gang. Our plan is that they'll come at least once a week, do some hands-on art classes, and they get outside of their regular environment where they meet and have like a little field trip that they get to come and see somewhere different during their daily activities.